Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I want to show you guys a houseplant tour of a rental property just before we move. And just a bit of disclaimer, the house may look a bit messy because we've got boxes everywhere, but I thought I wanted to take advantage of this sunny weekend just to show you guys the different plants that I have inside the house, and perhaps I'm gonna break it down to a second part video where I'm going to show you guys outside of the house as well. So I hope that you guys will enjoy this video. If you do, then please give me that like button. If you're new to this channel, then please click subscribe. All right, so let's get started. All right, so I feel like I want to start from the top of our house and then down at the bottom. And I wanted to basically just start here in our bathroom right now. Okay, so right here, I'm going to show you guys the different plants that we have, and there's only 4 of them. So the first one here is the Begonia Kotobuki, which you guys have probably seen on my previous video. It's the very first begonia that I got. And the reason why I love this is its red, luscious leaf that it grows up to when it matures, as well as the fact that it grows a bit gigantic. So as you can see, this is my hand, and I've seen really gigantic begonias before. So I just got attracted to this begonia, and so far it's been really forgiving. It's really loving life here in the bathroom with its high humidity levels, and I had to actually dry that soil up and from underneath. I can't really carry this, but I had to dry that soil from underneath when I first got it because it was so soaked in water, and I didn't want it to get root rot. So that's what happened. Okay, I think I just broke one of the leaves at the back. All right, the next one here is the Alocasia Cucullata. Okay, still a baby. Got this for around $15 around in Woolies, and I potted her up in a clear soil so I can actually see how much soil is left inside of that. This one has a really nice growth pattern when it grows. However, something weird about alocasias, and I've got 3 here that I'll show you guys, is that oftentimes when there's a new shoot that's about to come out, like this one, okay, there's a new one right there, a baby one. Okay, oftentimes the oldest leaf will actually die off. So this one's on its way out, and you'll see it in my other alocasias as well. Okay, the next alocasia that I have here in the bathroom is the Alocasia Wentii. Okay, so this one is kind of like the elephant ear, but except it's got burgundy at the back right there, and there's a new shoot just coming out right here. And as you guys can see, this other older leaf is on its way out. So I'm just letting it hang loose until it actually, just dries off and detaches, okay? Next one here is the Alocasia Velvet. Okay, this is in one of my wish list before, but this one's not really looking that great when I bought it, but it's shooting up leaves. Now this older leaf is again dying, but what you guys will notice is there's a new baby, you can't really see it properly there, but there's a new baby shoot that's about to come out of there as well. So that's probably why the older one's dying. So that's one of the weird things that I found with alocasia, and we are only coming out of winter, so hopefully during spring it's gonna be more bushier, much more bigger, but we will see. All right, coming down to the stairs. Now, here, just as you're coming out, you'll be able to see that we've got our framed pre-engagement photos, and here we've got a few plants here that I wanted to show you guys. So right here, I've got the cast iron plant, which is basically a really hardy plant. From what I've heard, almost like a peace lily, and this one can tolerate really low light as well as high temperatures as well, and also low humidity and also dry soil, and that's why I wanted to keep it. Okay, the only disadvantage to this is sometimes they may be infested with spider mites, but I made sure I wiped this thoroughly with a insecticide, so hopefully that one just grows well. Here I've got some dying yuccas, baby yuccas. I thought I'd try to grow it, but it looks like they're not really flourishing, so we'll just see how that goes. Here I've got a Dieffenbachia that's a baby, and it's growing quite well. Got some brown edges there. Again, that's one of the plants that's really finicky, but yeah, well, we'll just see how it goes. As far as I'm aware, it's grown 3 new leaves, so I guess it's loving life at the moment. This one is one of the Monsteras that came from our friend, which is really nice. Okay, that's the new shoot of leaves that came out, and it looks like there's a bit of, I don't know, yellow damage or variegations there. I'm pretty sure it's damage. Alright, but we'll just see, and there's the older leaf right there. And I got another baby Monstera right here. After several months, it's finally shooting up a new leaf right there, so that's really good. Alright, moving on from there, now keeping in mind that our lounge is actually quite messy at the moment. We've got a few boxes there, so I'm not going to show you our whole lounge, but just want to show you guys more of my plant collection. So right here, you'll be able to see I've got another Dieffenbachia, and this one I had to trim off because the edges of it got dry when I was still trying to get to know how to care for it. But now it looks like it's flourishing as well, so hopefully this one will just, you know, stay good as it is and keep growing. Here is the Peperomia Moonlight from a previous video that I've already shown you guys, and this one's also flourishing really well, so that's good. I don't know if I should repot this because it's just on peat moss. At the moment it looks like it's, you know, growing really well, so maybe I won't touch that. Here we've got another Peperomia. If you guys haven't noticed yet, I do love Peperomias, and I might show you guys a separate videos of all the Peperomias that I own, but this is a Napoli Night right there. Here it's another Peperomia, and this one I forgot what it's called, but it's like a Peperomia string beans or something. Yeah, I don't know, jot them down in the comments down below if you guys find out what that is. So this one's the Calathea Medallion. Okay, it looks really shiny because I did wipe it with white oil, which is a product that I like using because it's both an insecticide and I find that they react really well with certain leaves. Okay, so at the bottom here you just can see that there's sphagnum moss just to keep the moist up, and I got my pebble tray right there, and also my hygrometer or humidity meter, I guess that's what you call it. I try to make sure that the humidity level is above 50, and if it's not, then I will start to mist these or actually add more water to the pebble tray as well. Here we've got another Peperomia, got different names, Red Ripple, Red Luna. You can't really see it here, but it's actually got that shiny glimmery leaf once it actually gets exposed to light. Here is another Calathea which I really liked, Calathea Ornata. Okay, it's got that stripes on it. It can be white, it can be pink, but it just looks really nice the way this growth pattern is. And again, this one was around $20 when I got it for Woolies. Had to repot it straight away because it was in soaked soil, so I just wanted to give it a lot more aeration, so I gave it that aeroid mix that I usually use. Here we've got our Ficus Ruby, okay, which is the plant that I have won in an online competition, and I think 4 to 5, 6 weeks ago. I've never watered it. It gave up a new shoot, okay, which is up here, and there's another one growing right there as well. So hopefully, you know, I don't overwater this and then kill it. Okay, so apparently they're like succulent, so I'm just gonna leave it with dry soil and see how we go. All right, right here you guys have probably seen this before. So this is my peace lily. All right, so it's probably due for another watering because of its leaves not looking really nice and healthy. Okay, but it's currently doing all right, so I'll just leave it there. Alright, the next area of our house with plants that I want to show you guys is our kitchen area. So right here, as you guys can see, I've got plenty of different plants right there, and I'll show you guys what I have. Firstly, here you'll be able to see I've got here the Monstera Siltepecana. Okay, it's just a normal green form. I am looking for a Siltepecana El Salvador, but at the moment, look at the growth pattern of that. It's looking really nice. And it just gave out 3 shoots within the next 2 or less than 2 months, I think. And there's already a new one coming out. If you want to see the progress of those plants that I have, please do follow me on my Instagram, and I will post a link down below as well. Alright, here you'll be able to see another Peperomia, which is the Silver Ripple. And just like the Red Luna, they kind of look alike, but the leaves are also sparkles when it's exposed to light. Okay, now let's have a look at this plant corner right here. I'll start off with here. So right here, you'll be able to see that I've got some Philodendron Micans that are propagating. Bought these online. Currently, they haven't rooted yet. I really like how big it is, but hopefully it can be a little bit more healthier looking once they do start rooting and absorb much more of that nutrients and or water that's in there. And there's another Philodendron Micans that's currently still recovering. Again, this is part of that bunch of Micans that I bought. It looks like that leaf is dying. Might just take it off. But the actual stalk and vine is actually still healthy. it looks like there's a new growth right there. Okay, so hopefully that'll grow well. Here we've got another Peperomia Rosso. And if you guys are wondering what those yellow sticky stuff are, they're actually for the fungus gnats. Okay, I do have a bit of infestation with it, but not as much. And I am trying to control it with those yellow sticky stuff over there that you guys can see. Okay, down here, there's a couple of baby plants that I've bought previously. There's the Burle Marx or Burle Marxii. I don't know interchangeably which one they are yet, but they're Calatheas. I've got here the Calathea Rattlesnake and also the Philodendron. I'm pretty sure that's a black Cardinal, okay, a baby one. And all of those are in a pebble tray. I do have a Calathea Beauty Star or somewhere right here. There's a stump. It's actually dead, but I'm hoping it does come back to life, but we will see. Okay, moving on from there, I've got here the White Princess that you guys might see on my Instagram. Okay, so it's finally opened up its leaf right there, and I've got my other White Princess there as well with a higher white variegation. With variegations, I honestly find that the one that's got a lot more mixture in it, like this one, tricolor, which is like lightish white, pure white, green, light green, have a more higher stability in terms of its variegation. But you know, we will see how the growth pattern is of this, but at the moment it's great that I finally got my hands on one of these. And up here you'll be able to see the Thigh Constellation that you guys have probably seen on my previous video. Okay, currently it is on sphagnum moss, and it's loving it there, it looks like. Okay, I'm hoping that this new shoot that is about to come up will come up. Okay, we will see. Maybe once I repot it in soil it will actually do better, but at the moment we're just keeping it as it is, and it looks like it's liking it on that moist sphagnum moss. And I've also got here some pebble trays as well for those plants. All right, right here we've got our Silver Sword juvenile form. Okay, I love the juvenile form of this. We'll see how it goes when it grows up. And again, that one's in an aroid mix as well as a pebble tray. Okay, here you'll be able to see that previous peace lily that I showed you guys before. Okay, there's one leaf that's trying to unfurl there. At the back there, you can see that there are other things that I'm propagating in a plant that's dead right in the middle. Okay, so those are just jade plants. I love the growth pattern of jade plants because they grow really, really fast. They're easy to look after. Okay, so I thought I'd grow more. Here I've actually got an orange seedling right there. Hopefully when I repot it again, it's going to grow even more bigger, but at the moment that's that. There's actually a small, what's this, maple tree that hasn't gotten leaves yet. I don't know if it's because it's dead or it's getting there, but hopefully it will eventually get there. Okay, moving from there, here I've got my Dieffenbachia Camilla. This one I got it for $15 from Kohl's, and initially it was really dry and I overwatered it, so as you guys will have probably seen, there's this damage. I'm letting life take its course so that eventually when this fully dries out I could just pull it off, but at the moment, you know, it's not really doing any bad, but I'd usually trim it, but I thought I'd just leave it there for now. Here there's a new baby growth that's coming out as well. Okay, and here there's a new leaf that's a bit weird in its growth, but there's another shoot. It's about to come out there, so hopefully that comes out well. Okay, moving on from there, here I've got Calathea Freddy, or depending on how you see it, it can be Calathea Bella, I think, but I think it's Calathea Freddy, I'm pretty sure. Okay, very finicky Calatheas, so as you can see there's brown edging there. Okay, not at its best, and I haven't trimmed them yet. Haven't gone around to it yet. Here there's the Calathea Orbifolia, and just like the other Calathea, it's got brown edges. Previously these lived in my bathroom thinking that they would have high humidity, but it wasn't really doing too well, so I ended up adding more sphagnum moss and putting it around more plants and more sunlight, because apparently there's high humidity levels when they are actually with other plants as well, so that's that. Okay, here we've got our Philodendron Micans. I've actually butchered the other leaves already when I dropped my phone and it just cut off that other leaf. Here I've got a spring onion coming up, so it's a bit of a mixture what I have. I've got indoor plants as well as some vegetable, or maybe the only vegetable that I'll have. Okay, so really have no use for it yet, but I thought when we got it, would propagate it, and we haven't really used it yet, or I think my wife has. Here we've got a propagating snow queen on soil. It's not really flourishing quite well yet, but we'll see how we go. Here we've got my marble queen, which you guys may have seen on my other pothos video as well. Okay, so this is currently how it's going at the moment. There's a new leaf trying to shoot out there. Here is some of my oregano. I've got plenty of these. They're such good growing plants, and they're really nice for tea as well. So in Philippines, my grandparents had a lot of these oreganos, and I, love the smell of it. It's got that minty smell with it. And I planted it with a succulent here as well. I don't know what this one's called actually. But the reason why I planted these two together is because this oregano is actually a good indicator that the soil needs more water, because it actually starts to become a bit soft and wilty. Okay, so that's my cue to then water it. So those two kind of goes well together. All right, zooming out here, you'll be able to see that I've got my avocado tree just growing right there. Okay, so it's growing really nicely at the moment. More shoots, and that 1 meter bamboo that's holding it up and straight is actually now shorter than its actual growth. All right, so when we move to our house, hopefully I can start trimming this off. But at the moment, because it's got a lot of leaves, it's gonna grow exponentially as well. Here I've got another oregano right there. Okay, it's a bit dark as you guys can see because it's quite sunny outside. Here I've got my Syngonium butterflies, and this one, believe it or not, is also $5 when I bought it, and it only had 2 leaves to start with, and now it's got so much growth right there. Very easy to grow, and they can tolerate direct sunlight as well without burning. All right, at the back down there, I've got some tiny succulents just propagating on that egg tray. Here I've also got a what do you call that, ZZ leaf that I tried to propagate. They're so hard to propagate on leaves, even though it's not even the variegated version. Okay, and I just thought I'd try it. I ignored it and it survived, so hopefully it'll root. All right, here you'll find that there's a little bit more ZZ plants that are currently propagating, and the reason that I'm actually propagating this ZZ is because the whole plant itself actually rooted. Okay, on one of the side of the screen, I'll show you how this one actually looked like before, but I had to chop every single one of these to actually make sure that they survive, because the roots are definitely rotting. This plant, I got it for free from a plant trade swap website. I don't know what it's called, but it looks really nice. Hope it lives, because it looks like it's dying at the moment. So yeah, that's that. Here you'll be able to see I've got another ZZ stem that's actually growing and flourishing. So hopefully this one actually lives as well. All right, so that's that. Down there you'll be able to see that I've got another avocado that's propagating, and it's about ready to crack and shoot open, and then I'll replant that again once I get it. Because apparently if you want your avocado to actually fruit, then you need 2 plants that can actually pollinate each other. All right, up here you'll be able to see that I've got my Peperomia again. What are they called? Teardrop? Polybotrya? I don't know. Yeah, one of the Peperomias. I actually butchered this. It was actually really bushy before. Again, I overwatered it, so I thought I'd repropagate it in water. And at the moment, it's growing plenty of roots, so very soon this will be ready for a repot on soil. Here we've got our Peperomia obtusifolia. Okay, you'll probably have seen me show you my Peperomia obtusifolia on my office area before, but this one actually propagated from a leaf, and at the bottom there it's now shooting more leaves. So this just goes to say that leaf cuttings from Peperomia actually can grow new shoots. All right, so that's that. Right next to it, there's another Peperomia obtusifolia. I think that's how you say it. I'm butchering it probably. That's actually propagating as well. And more at the back there. And I've got a donkey tail there with its little babies over there. And they're all growing quite well in this warm spring weather that we have. Here is the Snow Queen that's propagating as well, which I showed you guys on a previous video. Okay, and in that little tiny box with holes on it is actually more Micans node cuttings, okay, that I am still waiting to shoot up. Okay, so at the moment they're just nodes. Okay, so that's that. All right, next here. So here there's more Peperomia Polybotrya. Is that how you say it? Yeah, so it's also in water at the moment, growing. There's another Calathea Freddy here that's actually not doing too well. This was in direct sunlight and it was growing really well, and I thought, oh, I might start burning it. So then I took it out of direct sunlight and it didn't like it, so all its other leaves started dying off. So I thought, hey, let's put it in direct sunlight again, and it's now starting to live. Here I've got more Snow Queen that's propagating in water. This is part of that butchered Snow Queen that I had here. I had some in sphagnum moss, had some in water. Okay, they're both growing well, so that's good. Here there's another stem of Micans. All its leaves just died, so I got it there. At the back there's also Peperomia obtusifolia. This one is just a mixture of some of the sea salt that's actually diluted, and I just have them there ready, or rather, sorry, liquid fertilizer. Here's more Peperomia propagating in water. There I've got some jade plants that's propagating in a cup. Here I've got a Dieffenbachia tiny seedling. Okay, this one was actually under the root when it was rotting, and I thought I'd cut it off, see if it survived, and it's now giving me a new shoot. And this one is a Peperomia Brazil right there. Now the yellow parts of this other leaf has now turned whitish because of apparently probably getting exposed to the sunlight. Still like it though. So it's finally started rooting, this one, after how long? I think I got it rooting there for 3 months, and it's finally rooting after so long. I didn't realize it could take that long. Okay, so that's that. Right here, it's kind of a bit weird when you look at it, but this one is actually a lemon tree. All right, and there you'll be able to see there's another ZZ plant propagating in water. Here is another red luna that's propagating. Right there is actually a baby maple tree. Okay, it survived winter and it's now shooting up again. Here you'll be able to see that there's more oregano. Okay, and this one I've actually cut it so that it becomes more bushy, and I love that growth on it. So here is the Philodendron Brazil that I've cut off from that other Philodendron Brazil that I showed you guys because the other leaves weren't really looking great. And there's a new shoot coming out there and another one there, okay? Here we've got more Syngonium butterflies. Now these ones were just nodes when we got them from a friend at work, okay? And that one's got so much roots. Here is another, what do you call it? Syngonium white butterfly, and I love how it's growing at the moment, even though it's got that dying leaf there. I just grew it in a bottle, and amazingly enough, it loves it there, and it's growing really, really well, as you guys can see, okay? It looks like a butterfly when it flutters. All right, so that's a mouthful. So that's basically a plant corner that we have on our kitchen area. I'm gonna move on now to the other side of the kitchen. All right, so here in our kitchen area, there's more plants propagating. Here it's just some devil's ivy and white butterfly. Got some oregano there. I've got a satin pothos, so it's really dark in the image because of the sunlight. But here I've also got some spider plants that are growing, and look how well they're rooting. Really, really well. They love direct sunlight as well. Okay, up there you'll be able to see that there's some Micans thick as branch cuttings. And here I've also got some succulents as well. All right, this is an orange seedling before. It's just propagating in water at the moment. Here is some ficus plant that I've gotten. It's variegated. It's not really doing too well at the moment because when I got it, it just started wilting, but hopefully it'll recover. Here I've got another recovering jade plant as well, not doing really well. In there, I've got a small crassula plant, okay, that's trying to grow. Hopefully that grows. In there, there's a cherry seed that hasn't gone yet. Here is the Hothoria cherry crystal that's also recovering. It's not doing too well. Here, there is another crassula right there, Okay, that's also propagated from a leaf. Looks like it's not doing too bad. All right, moving on from there. All right, so here we have another corner of our house in our dining room where we have more plants. So this one's the other cuttings that I got from those ZZ, and they are also in water propagation as well because they are also chopped up from the mother plant. So hopefully these survive. Okay, here I've got my Monstera Deliciosa. Got this for clearance when I got it, and now I hope it's doing well. Okay, it's got 1, 2, 3, where's the third growth? Here, this one's actually just recently unfurled right there. So it's got 3 growth points after I actually trimmed it. And I'm hoping that it'll get a little bit more bushier at the top. Again, there's a bit of browning on the tips because I think I overwatered it at the time as well as that one. But hopefully this one will grow bushy at the top once it's ready to go. This one's actually just unfurling. Doesn't look a bit that healthy, but hopefully that one does well. It does have a new shoot coming out there. At the back, you've got the silver satin, Argarius, or Scindapsus pictus, whichever one you want to call it. Okay, I'm not sure if this one is actually part exotica because of all that great silvery variegations that's coming out of it. And then at the top, as it's growing, it started to lose its silvery variegation. We'll see how it goes. Again, this one's not really doing that well yet because I don't know if it needs a lot more water or maybe it needs a lot more better mix or soil mix. But yeah, I'm gonna propagate this once we move so that it can have a better growth pattern. Right here, we've got a large leaf Micans cutting, again, part of that package that I got before. Looks like a Gloriosum, nearly, or not. Gloriosum is one of my plants on my checklist because of the really massive leaf, but this one's just a Micans. Still really nice looking though. Here we've got more Peperomias and also Oreganos growing. Here is a Dieffenbachia that I've gotten from a friend, and it's currently being propagated in water. So that's that. All right, on to the next part of our house. Here we've got more Monsteras. Okay, I've got 2. This one and this one are actually brothers and sisters. I separated them once they grew a bit bigger, and they're looking quite nice. Looking at it side by side right there. And right in the middle is another finicky Dieffenbachia that I couldn't just get. So I ended up putting it in water, and looks like it's loving life there. It's got a new shoot coming out, okay, but at the moment it's just in there. Okay, hopefully that just lives. Here you've got more Syngonium white butterfly. I've got another orange seedling down there, and this one is actually a lemon seedling, okay, that I'm growing. Here is some Micans cutting, more Micans cutting. Still propagating, they're not doing too well. Okay, haven't rooted yet, so hopefully once that roots, it's gonna grow good shoots out. Here I've got my Snow Queen, which you guys have probably seen before. All right, so it's just there in that corner where it's receiving a bit of bright indirect light. And down here I've got my mini Monstera Tetrasperma Raphidophora. That's how you say it, okay, and it's just in a moss pole that I made. All right, on another corner of our house, we got more oreganos here, as you guys can see. And this one's really branched up really high. It was actually growing more, but it ended up falling and toppling over, so I had to cut it off, and I just got that wire supporting it to actually brace it upwards. And right there is my fiddle leaf fig tree, which has not given me a shoot of leaf in the next 6 to 8 months, I think. So I don't know what's happening. It looks healthy, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Maybe it needs bright, direct sunlight. I don't wanna burn it though, so we'll just leave it as that. All right, so we are now entering my office area with my other plants. And right now it looks really messy. Like what I said, we're packing everything, but I was in the middle of shooting something here. So here you'll be able to see that I've got my prized possession, Devil's Ivy, that I always highly speak about. So it's just right there. And I've got the other one growing right there as well. Okay, so this one's in a moss pole that's just growing really high. I've even put another bamboo stick right there to hold them upright. But this one's growing really tall too. And right here, you'll be able to see my Spathiphyllum sensation. It's got really nice, big, luscious leaf. And I think I might just need to check how it's going in terms of the soil moisture, because it looks like it's about wilting and the leaves are quite soft as well. So we'll just see how we go. Down here we've got some of my Calathea prayer plant Zebrina, not really doing too well as well, okay, but I've got this really promising leaf right here who just looks perfect at the moment. Hopefully it keeps that way. The other one has so much yellowing. Here we've got the Peperomia obtusifolia that's also flourishing as well. This is actually where I got the cutting from that you saw downstairs before that I was showing you. Alright, moving on from there, here I've got a propagating platform of glass where I've got a Begonia Kotobuki cutting there. I've got more Peperomia, Russos and stuff like that. And I've got tiny growths in one of them, right there. I don't know if you guys can see, it's very tiny. And more growth down there. Okay, so that's that. Alright, on my office table, I got here a air plant. And down here, I've got a lucky Chinese bamboo plant. Just growing on some, I don't know, white pebbles and water. On my office window side area, you'll be able to see that there is a donkey's tail just growing right there. I've got here my Philodendron Micans that's throwing out a weird leafy looking dark variegated sector there. And also my supposed Mandula, I think if it is, okay, right here, still growing. And then I've got my Crystal Queen right here. Okay, and this one is just an empty pot. There's nothing there. This is where the Crystal Queen used to be. As you can see, that's the label on it. All right, that's it, guys. All right, guys, so I'm thankful that you guys have stuck around this long. That's probably one of the longest videos that I will ever make. If you do like this video, then please give me that thumbs up. If you guys want to see me make more plant videos, then please click that subscribe button. Otherwise, I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, goodbye and God bless.